Hey friends, Neil here from Post to Post. Hope you guys have been watching lots of hockey. And if you haven't, you might want to go watch the highlights from the game a couple of nights ago because it was potentially the most beautiful hockey game that I've ever watched. It was good hockey, but visually it was outstanding. The Rangers wore their heritage jersey, the Red Wings wore their heritage jersey, and they were both dark. That is a very rare occurrence in the NHL because away teams wear white, home teams wear dark. Both these teams were wearing technically dark, and it's not something that we see in the NHL. It happens very, very rarely. And with two original six teams, with those beautiful blues and reds contrasting, it was unbelievable. So in this hockey season, I've watched more hockey than the previous probably 2, 3, or 4. If you guys have been following the channel for a long time, you'll know that roughly about 2 or 3 years ago, I kind of stopped talking about day-to-day hockey. I just, number one, didn't have the time to watch it anymore. Work was really busy. Number two, it became really difficult to watch with the blackouts and the subscriptions and all this other stuff. And I truly just kind of got burnt out from the hockey stuff in general, just making videos every single day for 6 years. Do the math, that's a lot of video, that's a lot of time invested. So I kind of stopped watching hockey. But this year, I've started to kind of get back into it quite a bit. I've watched definitely more hockey on average this year than last season and then again the season before. And part of the reason that I'm kind of redoing my office right now, yeah, like there's cords everywhere, there's a table with stuff on it. Part of the reason is because I'm trying to make my office less of a locker room and more of an actual office and kind of like hangout area. So before, if you watched my video a month ago or a year ago, whatever, there's wardrobes with jerseys and lights and all this kind of stuff and shelving and cool stuff on there and pucks and all that stuff's great. I love that stuff. I love collecting stuff. But my office became a room to house gear, not necessarily a room to work in or kind of hang out in. So it was actually me getting back into hockey this year that kind of forced the change of this room, and it's half done. I still need to get a couch. I need to get my other TV put in here. The TV's coming in here so I can watch games like the Rangers and Detroit one. I'm going to have the ability to watch basically any game I want coming up pretty soon. So I am pretty excited. I'm excited to get this room back in order, and I'm excited that the NHL is, doing stuff like this. We complain about the NHL all the time, whether it's with jerseys, whether it's with rules, whether it's with playoff format, it doesn't really matter. We're always going to complain about something. That's just the nature of humanity. We like to complain, we like to fix things, or at least try to fix things. But I think it is important to recognize when the NHL does do something correct, or I guess maybe not correct, but something that the majority of people like. And I think that the majority of people are really quite happy with this recent game between the Rangers and the Red Wings. As I've been talking, there's been some photos up on the screen, but I want to make them a little bit bigger and show you possibly one of the best hockey photos that I have seen in decades. So the first one that we'll make bigger here is the Rangers. So here's the Rangers uniform. We've talked about this. It's absolutely beautiful, the heritage uniform. And this is a pretty cool shot from the top of Madison Square Garden looking down. And this is beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful uniform. And then off to the Red Wings one that you kind of saw there earlier, just expanded. That is a beautiful uniform. You got the retro kind of heritage weathered kind of off-white gloves or orange gloves or leather gloves, whatever you want to call it. And I love that classic retro vibe, especially when there's two original six teams going head-to-head. Just amazing. Here's a pretty cool shot of both goalies. So you can see the Rangers goalie in the background with some pretty nice pads and gear, and then the Red Wings goalie with some pretty nice pads and gear as well. I love the old, like, leathered, kind of worn look on the blocker and the pads. Very, very cool stuff. I love this matchup. The helmet is amazing as well. And then this is the photo that I'm talking about. This is the photo that you could have printed, put on a wall, change into a painting. This is hockey. If you wanted to bring someone into hockey, or if somebody asked you, they knew you were a hockey fan, and they said, what is it about hockey that you love? What's hockey all about? Just show them this photo. That's all you have to do. This photo visually shows you exactly what hockey is all about. The battle to get into the playoffs, the battle against your rivals, the battle for the Stanley Cup. This is hatred at its best, and this is rivalry at its best. The Rangers and the Red Wings don't really have a modern rivalry, but they go back a long way, both teams. And there's definitely original six rivalry there. And this is amazing. I want to see more of this. I want to see the Montreal Canadiens wear red against the Toronto Maple Leafs wearing blue. I want to see the Chicago Blackhawks wear red, playing the Boston Bruins wearing black. It's a small thing. It's just a visual change, but it tells a story. And at least I think that's very important. I'm very nostalgic. I like to, invest my time into stories. I like the progression of a team, not necessarily the peak of a team. I like to cheer for underdogs and watch them rise. And I like to cheer for teams that did peak, have fallen, and are on their way back up. The story of a team, whether it's how well they do over a certain amount of years, how they looked over a certain amount of years, that I like the story of it. It's one of the reasons why I cheer for players more so than actual teams. Now, I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan at heart, but I watch all teams. I talk about all teams. I enjoy talking about all teams. And I'm a hockey fan above everything else. And I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan second. But I will always cheer for a player on a journey doing something great. I'll always cheer for a team doing something great or about to do something great. I like to cheer for stories because to me, that's what it's all about. It makes the wins more important. It makes the losses more heavy. Look at this photo. This photo tells a story. You don't even have to be a hockey fan to look at this and feel the emotion and the hatred and the meaning behind this. This photo is going to be iconic for years and decades to come, and hopefully this photo could potentially send the NHL down a visual path where we get more of this. That's how iconic I think that this photo is, and that's how rare that this photo is. Under all of this, yes, it's pretty cool to see two beautiful retro uniforms going up against each other. But it's deeper than that. There's a story here. This is hockey. And I think the NHL needs to lean into that. So that's my opinion on this. I love the Rangers and Red Wings uniforms both here more than I did just because of this game, because of this photo, because of what it brought emotionally and story-wise to the NHL. So I don't know how you guys feel. I would love to know down below in the comment section. Number 1, did you watch this game? Number 2, are you going to go watch the highlights if you didn't? And number 3, let me know what you think of these uniforms and these matchup and this photo. I hope you guys like this photo. Shout out to the photographer and shout out to all these players for going through this brutal onslaught of emotion and hatred and pain and giving us this beautiful image. This is something that I would print and put on my wall. So let me know down below in the comment section how you feel about this, and let me know if you want teams to do the matchups kind of like this. Do you want to see black versus red? Do you want to see yellow versus blue? I think there'd be some pretty cool color combos in the NHL depending on the team, depending on the matchup. So I'd love to see the NHL do more of this. So do you agree, disagree? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you're new and you want more conversations like this, hit the subscribe button down below and we'll definitely have them. We'll see you in the future. Adios.